Good morning, everyone. While we're waiting for others to get in and get settled, now's a good time to grab anything you need to get comfortable. Maybe that's a glass of water, a hot cup of tea or coffee. It might even be a cozy blanket or a sweater. Also, if you have items at home and you'd like to smudge, it's a great time to grab those items as we begin to ignite the healing within. If you don't have smudge at home, relatives, that's okay. We'll send some cleansing, healing, and positive energy your way. It's a new day. It's another sunrise, another sunset, another phase of the moon. This is our opportunity to reset, gauge how we're feeling today, and decide how it is that we're going to move forward in our wellness path. I definitely need a good cleanse today, that's for sure. Aloha, kakahiaka. My name is Malia and I'm a community healer at the HIR Wellness Institute. We are a nonprofit organization that focuses on the mental health and wellness of our relatives of Turtle Island, as well as other Indigenous and underserved communities, and also victims of crime. You can join us here every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. where we will always breathe, stretch, explore ways of integrating self-care and wellness into our daily lives, and we will always honor our cultural traditions, our customs, our ancestry, our strength, and our resilience. So thank you so much today for joining us, relatives. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our HIR Wellness Institute team members who are here with us. We have our social work intern, at least one of our social work interns, John Yang. Good morning, John. How are you doing? We're also really fortunate here to have our founder and CEO, Native Hawaiian woman, mother of Oneida children, basically the master behind this whole plan, Leah Denny. Thanks for being here today, Leah. We're really fortunate to have just a handful of us here. And like myself and John and the rest of our team, and sometimes even Leah when she's able, we're here in this circle of care. We're here to support each other, to lean into each other, to talk about what's on our mind, to take a moment to reflect on what it is that we truly need and how we're going to move forward on our wellness journey and path for the day. Or maybe if we're not even ready to move forward today, maybe we just need to reflect. And when we practice this together, when we're together, leaning into each other, talking it out, reflecting, this is what Leah has coined and developed as community activated medicine. Community activated medicine means that the people are the medicine. It means that we're not alone on this journey of healing, on this journey of life. And if community activated medicine means that the people are the medicine, that means we have within our own hearts, our own minds, our own bodies, and our own spirits, the ability to do our own part of our healing. As Leah always says, healing isn't complicated. And there's things that we can do in our day that can help us when we're feeling down or when we feel like we need extra support. So for all of our relatives that are here right now joining us, whether you've been here from the first time we started these videos in March, or this is your first time here in these videos, I want you to know that you are so welcome here. We're happy that you're here. This is a safe place for you to comment, to ask questions, to share your own insight. Maybe you want to share on your own cultural or ancestral wisdom, or maybe you want to support others out there. So thank you for being here, relatives. I want to start by doing a check-in and see how you're all doing. How are you? And the reason I ask how you're doing is because when we know where we're truly at, then we know how we want to move forward. Taking an honest look inside and seeing what it is that you want and what it is that you need. So how are you doing, relatives? And if you're not quite sure, we can take a body scan. One of the tools that I like to use here when I wake up in the morning is you can close your eyes if you want. You can just start with a physical scan of the body. You can start at the top of the head if you like. Paying attention if there's areas where you might be feeling tension or discomfort. Maybe it might be coming out as a physical pain. How's your forehead feeling? Your temple? Your jaw? Your neck? You can scan on down to your shoulders, your chest. How's your tummy feeling? And we can even scan down to our hips, our legs, our knees, our ankles, our toes and feet, and our shoulders, arms, wrists, and fingertips. Take a moment to scan your heart. Are there feelings or emotions that are lying heavy in your heart today? Or does your heart feel free and full? We can also scan our thoughts. Are there thoughts that are circulating in your mind, maybe kept you up late at night? Or do you feel rested? And if you want to, relatives, feel free to share in the comment box how you're feeling. We can talk about it. We can reflect on it. John says, hi, Malia and relatives. I'm doing okay this morning. I've been tired this entire week for some odd reason. Thanks for sharing, John. Hopefully this weekend you can catch up and get some rest. TGIF, everybody. TGIF. Indigo says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Indigo. Always so glad you're here with us. Karen, glad to see you too. Karen says, buenos dias, relatives. All right. And to all of our relatives out there, if I didn't say your name, just know it's because sometimes I see names pop up and sometimes I don't. But whether I say your name or not, I want you to know it's important that you're here, and we're so happy that you're here. Thank you for being with us. Kathy, good morning. She says good morning to all. So in relatives, if you're just coming in now too, or whatever time you come in at the video, just know that you're always welcome to check in. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the video. We're here for you. These videos are for you. So And like Indigo says, I can only be here 15 minutes today because I'm on a 3-day retreat starting today. Whoa, Indigo. Yes, I'm so glad for you. But glad to catch you for a bit. It's a great start to the day with you all. You enjoy your retreat, Indigo. Thanks for stopping in for the moment that you can. We're so happy that you're here always. So, relatives, I want to take a moment today to talk about something that's happened to me recently, very recently actually. And this hopefully we can use as a reflection piece. But today, what I want to talk about is talking. Well, let me first explain what happened. So, social media, it can be a difficult space, and I had been cyberbullied. And cyberbullying is kind of one of those really, I guess it's one of the byproducts of social media. But one of the things that I was cyberbullied about was actually my physical appearance. So a lot of the times, I'll see negative comments on people's threads, on my threads. I tend not to post about politics. I generally don't, but it's not that I never have. Um, and people can tend to, have back and forth, pretty sad conversations around, you know, politics or things like that. What I experienced very recently was attacks on my physical features, on my looks, on my weight. So I wanted to talk about it because that makes me think about a lot of things, but it's just something that I felt important to share. So, I know these experiences happen to a lot of people, and unfortunately, I've seen it. For this particular instance, I happened to be at I was the subject in this case. I was the person who was being targeted, but I see it happen a lot. And so, what can we do? What is it? How can we move forward on these situations when we're feeling personally attacked? For me, like I said, I was personally attacked about my physical features, about my looks, about my weight. And to be honest, it was pretty painful. It's pretty, I guess what I could say, it's very activating and it reminds me of some of the past traumas that I've had um, in my life and in my experiences. So when it activated something in me, I immediately reached out to somebody that I trust, someone that I can talk to, and someone who can hold space for me. So I called up this person who I love, who I know I can always talk to, and she gave me some really good support. So this is a reminder to me, relatives, if you're ever going through situations where you're feeling overwhelmed, where you're feeling emotional, where you just feel like you need to let it out, if it feels better to talk to someone, do reach out to someone that you can talk to, and someone that you trust. Someone who can hold space for you and listen to you. Also, too, for those of you who are the listeners out there sometimes, what I've learned at the Institute is what can be really powerful is just a listening ear. You don't necessarily have to fix it. Just being there to listen, to hold space, can be enough. So, relatives, if you aren't doing okay and you have situations like this where you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, I feel horrible, do know that there's limitless things that you can do. Right here, you can come on to these videos, you can talk about it. You can also reach out to our Cares More line. It's open every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And you can call or text And within 24 hours, you'll be connected to one of our Cares Warm counselors. Our Cares Warm counselors can listen. Not only can they will listen to you. They will listen to you with dignity, with respect, judgment-free, stigma-free. You can talk about what's on your mind. Maybe you're feeling anxious. Maybe you're feeling sad. Maybe you're upset or nervous. And although the Cares Warm line is not a crisis line, it is a place where we can hold space and provide you with emotional support. And not only can our Cares Warm counselors provide you with emotional support, they can also connect you to resources that may be helpful to you. There are resources out there, relatives, in advocacy, safety, shelter, and other things. So no, relatives, you are not alone. Okay, I want to go to the comments section, but I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little emotional, so I don't necessarily feel like I need to be I don't necessarily want to let tears out today because I feel like if they come, they might not stop. So I'll try, and if I go over a comment quickly, relatives, that is loving towards me, just know I read them and thank you. Let me see what we got here. Okay. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much. Indigo says people are just being violent behind the perceived safety of the internet. It really is a question of violence. I'm sorry you experienced that, and I'm glad you got support. Thank you so much, Indigo. I appreciate that. Kathy says, please know you're beautiful. Don't let anyone bring you down. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that as well. Sherry, so Sherry's like my she's like my future mother-in-law. I love you too, Sherry. So she says you are beautiful inside and out. See, relatives, when you're feeling down, the beauty of community activated medicine is you can get support from other people, which is awesome. Okay, Karen says, thank you for sharing. It is inspiring the way you reflect on your experiences and recognize your feelings. You're loved so much. Sending a huge virtual hug. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Relatives, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to smudge again. So Leah's also sent a link for bullying and cyberbullying. And I'm going to smudge a second time because I really feel like this will help me. And also, too, relatives, when you're feeling down for the day, when you're just feeling like, you just need some downtime, take some deep breaths. And after I smudge again, we'll go ahead into our deep breathing. And I think this will really help to center and calm me too. And we can go over some ways that when you are, when you've been subject to this kind of negativity or sort of like bullying or attacks by people, or even if you're just not overall not feeling well, we can talk about it. So we'll reflect on it and some things that we can do. I'm going to smudge myself a little bit here too, relatives. Thank you. So Indigo says, I had a situation online bullying that was about ideas and harassment related to my support for Black Lives Matter. In my case, I enlisted troops and went to war. The final result was that the attacks ended. But after a while, I also lost interest in that community. So there's a way that once aggression starts, how to win is questionable. Thank you, Indigo, for sharing that. Yes, Indigo, I too have been in those very conversations. They can be very painful. Um, and I'm sorry that you experienced that. I know that this happens a lot on social. So Marissa says, good morning, Malia and relatives. You're absolutely beautiful being, Malia, and help so many. Sorry that other people put their own negative feelings of themselves on you. Thank you, Marissa. I appreciate that so much. Much appreciated. Um, Marilyn says, sending hugs. Kathy says, we got your back. So, sorry, Kathy, I'm having trouble understanding a little bit. I think there's just a typo in the comment, but she says that she will always be here to cheer me on. Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate it. So, you guys, this is relatives. This is a perfect example of community activated medicine. We're here to support each other, and believe me, I feel a heck of a lot better about this than I did um, when it initially happened. So, thank you so much for letting me talk about it, to release it, to reflect on it. Um, and this reminds me too of um, a couple of things. One, I always hear our community engagement and Indigenous Affairs Director, Jamie Kellicott. She often says that hurt people. And I'm very aware of this to reflect on this, but not that it makes it okay that what this person did, but it does make me think about trauma and how when people experience trauma, they tend to act in certain ways and then it can hurt other people. So it is a reminder to me for those of us who are hurting out there, you may not be a bully, but if you have trauma that you're carrying, it can manifest into other ways and it can affect you in a way that may not be serving you. And it's important that we can release it, we can talk about it. And one of those tools that I use in my medicine kit is deep breathing. So, relatives, let's go ahead and take some deep breaths. Now, I wish I would have thought about this when I was deep into the cyberbullying that was happening. But this week, I've been teaching a deep breathing exercise, and I teach a different one every week. This one I've been calling a visualization deep breathing, which is the golden ball or a golden light visualization. So, Leah says it's time to reflect, to release, reconcile, and repair. Thank you, Leah. Okay, so what I love about this this golden ball exercise, this breathing technique, is this visualization aspect of it. Now, we can imagine, like particularly if we're going through experiences like this, or if we're in places where you might be feeling people who are acting out in ways that are intentional, trying to, if they're being toxic towards you. I always imagine a golden ball of light with this technique. And this ball is maybe coming around you a couple of feet. And this ball of light, if anyone brings any negativity towards you, ill wills or harmed intentions, their energy, we do not have to allow to accept that. So with this golden ball of light, as anyone may potentially be directing those feelings or intentions towards you, this golden ball of light will actually get brighter and just dissolve or almost, I picture it like almost like light that just gets brighter as this negativity comes at you, and it helps to dissipate all of those intentions or negative thoughts that are coming at you. You don't have to take them in, which is perfect for me right now because I definitely need that. The other thing is too is maybe those feelings that aren't serving you or those intentions or thoughts, they might not be coming from other people, they might be coming from within you. And if that's the case, allow this ball of light that's surrounding you to take that negative energy and to let it absorb upwards into this golden ball and be released out into the atmosphere, out into the universe. So this is our visualization technique. Now, also you can imagine that this ball is like permeable. So if you do need to release, it's not going to get stuck in that golden ball or that ball of light. It's going to go outwards. But what can come into that ball is supportive comments, love, good intentions, healing energy, positive energy, medicine from the wind, from the rain, from our elements, from our relatives, from our plant relatives, from our pet relatives. And with this golden ball of light, while we're visualizing that, you can let it grow brighter every time you breathe in and exhale. As far as the breathing itself, we can breathe in through the nose for a count of 4, and we can exhale through the mouth for a count of 6. Now, you can sit, lay, or recline however you like, relatives, and you can really modify this deep breathing however you want. It's whatever makes you feel comfortable and whatever serves you. As we breathe in, our bellies are going to expand, and as we exhale and release what's not serving us, our bellies are going to contract. Eyes closed are optional. You're going to take a deep inhale, expanding that belly, imagining that ball of light surrounding you, and exhale and release. Deep inhale, and exhale and release. Deep inhale. And exhale. Deep inhale. And exhale. One more deep breath and we'll go into our stretch. Inhale. And exhale. Continue with our deep breathing. We'll go into a stretch here. Relatives, I want you to know for your stretch, these are just guidelines. Do what feels comfortable for you. For me, I'm going to start with the shoulders because we can hold a lot of tension in our shoulders. Go ahead if you want. You can extend those arms or you can get up and stretch, whatever stretch you need. If you yawn, that's okay. Oftentimes I yawn when I stretch there. It's just releasing what needs to be released. Stretching the shoulder and upper back. Other side. We're going to take a deep inhale. Extending that arm out in front of us, pushing down on our fingertips, stretching the forearm and wrist. Sometimes that one feels uncomfortable, so if you want, you can roll your wrist out instead. All right, let's take a deep inhale. Exhale as we extend the palms out and up towards the ceiling. And we're going to gently bend with our palms towards the ceiling from side to center and side to center. Exhale and release, pushing down on the opposite elbow. Deep inhale. Like clockwork, my kitten, every time we do these mornings, she goes on my kitchen counter knowing full well I can't fix it until I'm done with the R&R. And let's stretch our necks from side to center. Side to center. Inhaling all the while, we're going to double tap our ear towards our shoulder. Ear towards our shoulder. And then we're going to roll our chin from shoulder to shoulder, keeping it in the front. And then we're going to gently put our chin down towards our lap and up towards the ceiling. One more time, deep inhale and exhale. How'd that feel, relatives? I feel so much better. Thank you so much. Community activated medicine, deep breathing. Thank you, relatives. Okay, let's go back to our comments. Terrell says, I appreciate the term resilience. I see it as reflecting and coming to terms, whatever that is in that moment, to be able to move on in a good way. It's not avoiding, but more of a planned and intentional response. It took me a while to learn this. I try to share this way of thinking and responding with those whose paths I cross. Everyone, but especially children, can benefit from realizing that they can direct their response to situations and not just react to them. This has been very helpful for me. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Terrell. So much wisdom here, relatives. So much wisdom. Leah says, if people can hurt you, people can heal you too. Thanks, Leah. And that is a reminder, relatives. When we are in community activated medicine, when we are practicing it, which we are right now, right? We're all gathered in this circle. If we were all in a room together and we didn't have this pandemic that we were worrying about, we could gather together in a room and look at each other shoulder to shoulder in a circle. And no one is greater than the other one. In community activated medicine, my role as a community healer does not mean that I'm a medicine woman or that I'm a sage. What it means is that I'm here to remind you that you are a healer too. You have those healing abilities within you. We all do. Together, we have that ability to help others on their healing journey, to remind them that they have the support, that they have within them their ability to do their own part of their healing. Community activated medicine is a powerful way to heal. So relatives, thank you so much for being here today as we do this. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, just for a few minutes, we can talk about positive self-talk. And truthfully, on my healing journey, relatives, my self-image has been a huge part of that. How do I see myself? How do I find value in who I am? In this world, I feel like, particularly on social, we have all these algorithms that people are trying to sell stuff to us, and I'm constantly bombarded with, it's hard for people not to feel like they need to improve themselves in some ways because you're probably getting articles directed at you about how you need makeup or eyelashes or some sort of diet pill, or you need to be smaller, or you need to be bigger, or your butt needs to be bigger and your chest needs to be bigger, all these things. Maybe we need to look younger, maybe our hair's not supposed to be gray. It's hard to be well in a society that's trying to capitalize on our insecurities. That being said, I saw some very, very powerful research by a doctor, and what she did is she researched the amount of things that people say to themselves that are negative about themselves in a day. Her research came to the conclusion that we say literally on average, about 1,200 negative things to ourselves every single day. That comes to about 40,000 negative thoughts that we have about ourselves in a month, and over 500,000 negative things we say to ourselves every single year. So how can we combat that? What can we do to find the beauty in ourselves? Physically, internally, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, for who you are. One of the things that you can do, there's a lot of things. And relatives, please, if you have feedback or comments or thoughts of what you think that we can do, I'll give some of my insight on it. One of the things we can do is we can practice gratitude. We can literally just think of things or write down things or journal things of things that we're fortunate to have in our life. Another way to combat this, all that negative self-talk and those feelings of not being enough, not being worthy enough, not being deserving enough, we can start saying positive things to ourselves. Sometimes we do exercises right here on this video where I'll ask you just to declare what's beautiful about you. What makes you you? There's over 7 billion people in this world. Each of us are on our path and journey of life, our wellness journey. Sometimes they cross paths like they do right now. The Creator gave us each that unique path. Nobody else walks that path. They might intersect, but it is our path. We are the ones taking that journey. And what's beautiful about you in that? Be afraid not to declare what makes you amazing. So don't be afraid to love yourself. Leah often talks about radical compassion, radical love, radical self-care. This is how we can start to combat that inner voice that sometimes isn't being truthful. Our mind doesn't always tell us the truth. Sometimes it tells us we're not enough. Sometimes it tells us we don't deserve. And these are untruths. These are stories that our mind has been taught through trauma, through past experiences, through pain. Terrell says, I'm a quote person. I have positive and encouraging quotes in my workspace and in journals. They have been nice reminders to help me keep a more positive mindset. It's beautiful, Terrell. I agree. I love the quotes as well, as does John. Another way to act in a way that's healing and loving towards ourselves is just about any act of self-care that you do in a day. Right here, right now, we're reflecting together. That's an act of healing. That's an act of self-love. We're practicing community activated medicine. We deep breathed. We stretched. We're reflecting on what we need and things that we can do. We're some of us are drinking our elixirs, our morning elixirs. Maybe that's a coffee, maybe it's tea, maybe it's citrus water, maybe it's kombucha, maybe it's your vitamin water, whatever it is. That's a half a dozen things right now that we're doing. We smudged culture as medicine, so that's 7 things. And even more. So relatives, when we're feeling down, and I feel like I've just experienced this in real time, was feeling really down. And now thanks to community activated medicine, I feel supported. I feel good. So relatives, just know there's a lot of ways that we can continue to heal. And I don't believe that healing is something where you wake up one day and you're like, you know what, I'm healed and everything's fine. No, it's continual. It's like the ocean tides. It ebbs and it flows. It's like the waxing and the waning of the moon. Sometimes there's light and sometimes there's darkness. It's like the peaks and the valleys of a mountaintop. And with that, relatives, I want to say mahalo nui loa. Thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate you. Take good, righteous care of your body, your mind, your heart, and your spirit. May you have moments today where you practice self-care, self-love, and reflection. Aloha nui, much love to you all out there. Before we go, there is a community survey linked to this video. Relatives, when Leah founded the HIR Wellness Institute, she knew that it should never cost a penny for any of our relatives when they're seeking healing on their journey of self-care, wellness, and mental health. This survey is the way that we're able to keep our services for free. And it's also how we can understand how best to serve you. Ahui o akano, thank you all so much. Have a beautiful weekend. And we'll see you Monday at 8 a.m. I hope to see you then. Aloha.